Good morning and welcome, my fellow sovereignties. And this morning I'd like to talk about the power that we have, just who we are, and the effect that we have on the planet. So I've got a tiny quiz and a story that will tell you about that. Before that, I have to own up, because this is day 4 and this is my third Facebook Live. So I missed one. And the last one I did 2 days ago was about persistence. And I was not persistent because I didn't do one yesterday. And I could easily beat myself up, but it's about recognizing why. And the Course in Miracles says that whenever we set a plan, whenever we set out some sort of routine that's going to improve who we are, what's going on for our lives, anytime we set a plan and then we don't do it, maybe it's a diet plan or an exercise plan or a forgiveness plan or meditation or something regular, we don't forget it. The reason we don't do it is because we don't believe we deserve the benefits that come from doing it. And that's about self-belief, self-confidence, self-love, all of those things. And so I just have to own up that I didn't walk my own talk and I wasn't persistent. So here I am today, and just 2 quick things that are related. So first is a quiz that you've probably heard of before. So just stop for a moment, and I'll give you 5 seconds to think of the last 3 leaders of your country. What's the names of the last 3 leaders of your country? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Did you think of them? I don't know who they are. The second part of the question is to name the 3 people in your life who have been most kind to you. It might be a grandmother or grandfather or some relation, a teacher, somebody. So you've got 5 seconds to think of the person who's been most kind to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a simple, silly little quiz, but it does show us that the people who are kind to us are the ones we remember. And that might be on a national scale or on a personal scale. Kindness is much more powerful than supposed power. And that's just ordinary people doing their ordinary kind thing. So I'm sure you're sick of looking at my face, so I'm going to turn around and show you where I am, and I'll tell you a story. So I'm on the Rejuvenated River, and it's so stressful here. Oh, it's terrible. No, it's lovely. And so the story happened, true story, about 30 years ago. And so there was this 15-year-old girl in a high school class in America, art class, and in schools, of course, teachers aren't supposed to touch the students, and particularly male teachers aren't supposed to touch the female students. And I know as a teacher we were always very aware of that. And so this girl's in her art class and she's painting away, and the teacher's walking around looking at each of the paintings, what the students are doing. And as he passes by this girl, he stops, touches her shoulder and says, "That's really good, keep going." And then he goes on to the next one. 10 years later, he receives a letter from a woman saying, "I don't know if you remember, but 10 years ago I was in your art class and you stopped while I was painting and looked at what I was doing, touched me on the shoulder and said, 'That's really good, keep going.'" That day I was going to go home and commit suicide. My life had just got too much. But your simple human touch and your simple words of encouragement changed my mind. I went home and I did not commit suicide, obviously. And because of that 2 simple actions that you did, there are now 2 children, happy children in this world that would not have existed. There is a happy husband, and I'm very happily married. and it's all down to you touching my shoulder, simple human touch, and saying, well done, keep going. And so I did. And that teacher could not have planned that. He didn't do it thinking, oh, well, I'll touch her on the shoulder because that'll stop her committing suicide. He had no idea. He was just doing what he did, being who he was. And there are so many things that we do that make a huge difference. And we don't know about that. So I just exhort you to think about and be present to the little things that you do today in just being who you are. And I know over the many years that I've been writing, I remember 2 emails that I've had at different times from people who have read something that I've written and emailed and said that they were going to commit suicide, and because of what I'd written, what they read, they decided not to. And I could not have planned that. I had no idea what it was I wrote. I don't know who they are or what was going on in their lives. I was just being me. And so it's just about acknowledging the simple things that make such a huge difference. And in each moment we can be kind, we can be positive, we can be uplifting. And so that is my simple message. Just be you. And you don't have to copy anybody else. We don't have to emulate some famous whoever. Just be who you are. And you will know one day that today you made a difference. Thank you.